challenge for the Ravens flock today. If you want to beat the Titans this weekend, go ahead and smash the like button on today's video. Folks, I get a list of everybody that likes the show and doesn't like the show. I don't want to have to come find you because you didn't like today's video. Don't be that guy. Don't jinx it. Like the video for a Ravens win, and we'll get started with today's show. The Baltimore Ravens could be in the market for New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley. That is according to Bleacher Report's newest report, as they have named the Baltimore Ravens as a top trade destination to land the Giants' star running back. The season hasn't gone the way the Giants had expected. You may recall the offseason saga of trying to get Saquon Barkley paid. We know where the Ravens are at the running back position. What about bringing him to the Charm City? Here's more from Bleacher Report on Barkley. Alex K. writes the following. Rather than get nothing but a compensatory selection in return for Barkley, the Giants should be working the phones to see what other teams may be willing to offer. Getting a late day 2 pick from a team like the Baltimore Ravens, a club that has Super Bowl dreams, but lost starting running back J.K. Dobbins to a season-ending injury, has gotten mixed results from backups Justice Hill and Gus Edwards in the weeks since, and it could be the best path forward. Eric DeCosta, John Harbaugh, if you're listening, pick up the phone. Saquon Barkley? Hell yeah. That's a great idea for the Baltimore Ravens. And look, we saw John Harbaugh get to do his thing. He said, hey, we trust the running backs that we have here to do their thing. And here we are weeks on later, and the results aren't great. John, you had your opportunity with those guys. It ain't working. Got to do something different as far as I'm concerned. I got a trade idea to get to, some numbers that we'll run by here in a matter of moments, but first, our pinned comment today. Should the Ravens trade for Saquon Barkley? Weigh in that comment section. Tell us what you think. Y for yes, N for no. Let me know what you think. Now, you look at this Ravens offense. We know there's potential, right? You have the most explosive player in the National Football League in Lamar Jackson. Zay Flowers looks good. Mark Andrews, one of the best tight ends in the league. But so far, through the first 5 games of 2023, this offense is needing a spark of some sorts to get back on track. And potentially speaking, Saquon Barkley might be the spark that this offense is looking for. A 2-time Pro Bowl selection in 2018 and in 2022, as recently as last year. Won the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year award back in 2018 and had a very strong season last year. Remember, he's dealt with these injuries, right? And yet he still came back as strong as ever with arguably his best season yet in 2022. And he's already setting records for what he's done in his career. 4 NFL records he holds, as well as 5 Giants franchise records over the years. He has been incredible. So what would a trade for Saquon Barkley look like? Not as much as I think most people would expect. Saquon on an expiring contract, already dealt with an injury at one point this year. So realistically, I think the Ravens can pull this off with a 3rd-round draft pick at this juncture, which, considering a couple of months ago, before the season began, when the Giants were weighing their options on Saquon Barkley, the hope was that if they were going to move on from him, they could get a 1st-round pick. In the circumstance of where the Ravens are at and needing help in the run game, 3rd-round pick, this might be a win-win for all parties involved here at this point, specifically the Baltimore Ravens. They only have to give up a 3rd-round pick for a player of the caliber of Saquon. More on Saquon in a moment, but first, today's show sponsored by Game Time. Game Time, one of our newest partners here at Chat Sports, is the place to go for tickets for the lowest prices guaranteed with the best seats. If you're looking for tickets to sporting events, to concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, they got it all at Game Time. A while back, went and saw the Baltimore Orioles play. Me and one of my buddies, we decided to get tickets at the very last minute and still made it in time for first pitch. You can get your tickets in just a matter of moments with Game Time, folks. Here's how it works. Pick out the event you want to go to. Prices are listed. You get to see the seat, whether you like it or not. Get that visual, and then within seconds, you are in checkout mode. You can buy with Apple Pay, Google Pay. It is simple. It is sleek. It is easy with Game Time, folks. And here's what we're offering Ravens Rundown viewers. You can get $20 off. $20 off with the promo code RavensChat. So what are you waiting for? Get some tickets to see some sporting events this weekend with Game Time. Promo code RavensChat for $20 off. Download today. Terms and conditions do apply. Now, think about this. Making a trade for Saquon Barkley doesn't necessarily mean you have to extend him. I think there's this misconception of sorts that if you are going to make said trade for a guy like Saquon Barkley, that you have to give him all this money. You don't necessarily have to do that, at least right now anyway. You bring him in, see if he is an asset to your offense, if he can stay healthy, and how much tread he has left in the tires, and then you figure out next offseason if you want to pay him more beyond that. This could be a rental for now and figure out later, essentially. Saquon Barkley, we have seen him play at a terrific level over the years. 2013, or 2023, rather, this year, getting only 10 years off on that one. So far, we've seen him not play a ton with 29 carries, 114 yards, about 4 yards carry and a touchdown. But that season last year was what you are looking for. If you're getting 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, if he can get back to that caliber he was, which I still think he's that same back, then all of a sudden you're talking about cooking with bacon grease with having Saquon Barkley in your offense. And here's the thing to keep in mind. When we mentioned those injuries earlier, right now the Ravens only have dos healthy running backs right now. That's it. Okay? Now some of you are going to say, well, Lamar is another running back. I don't like to have to overuse Lamar running the football. I'll explain more on that later. But you got to do something. And sure, you're going to get some guys back from injury and all that. I understand. But, I mean, that's not a long-term successful plan and strategy just to roll with two guys here at this point. I'm not feeling very confident in the run game. I'm concerned with not only the lack of production we're seeing on the field, but also just the lack of bodies at this point. My confidence level is probably at a 4 or 3. What about you? Scale it for me in the comments section. What your concern level is for the Ravens run game at this point in time. Weigh it in the comments section. Let us know what you think. Folks, you got to subscribe to a Ravens Rundown as we bring you daily coverage here on the channel with news and rumors. We're doing our live shows, Q&A mailbags, watch parties, and more, including this weekend. We will get things going about 9 a.m. Eastern time, bright and early, for the Ravens matchup against the Tennessee Titans from London. We're going to be London Calling here, folks. You better believe it. We'll have our tea and crumpets in hand, and we're going to be teabagging those Titans. So come on in, stay a while. Join us coming up this Sunday. Myself, Tyler Smith, Schmitty's going to be here in the house with us as well. We're going to have some duck races on top of that. We are going to give away money on this show. So if you need another reason to be here, come win some money on our watch party for our raffles that we'll be doing this Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern, live right here on Ravens Rundown. So an ongoing theme we've seen with the Baltimore Ravens the last 2 seasons has been that if Lamar Jackson is overworked, if the run game is not there and you're losing bodies, eventually you lose Lamar Jackson. He missed the last 5 games of the last 2 seasons, I think, in large part because he was having to do too much. What do they say about insanity? That if you do the same thing over and over again, that it leads to insanity? Something like that, right? Are we ever going to learn? Are we going to get a true running game for this Baltimore Ravens team? Look at the depth chart right now. You get Keaton Mitchell back, hopefully soon. We've seen the other injuries of guys right now. I'm just sitting here saying to myself, like, send help. Help wanted sign. Somebody do something. Because right now, not only does the depth chart show that you're lacking that pizzazz, the numbers say the same thing. Lamar's your leading rusher. Gus, They're averaging 4.3 yards a carry, but they haven't necessarily trusted him to work a heavy workload every game. Saquon changes things and is a difference maker in this offense and provides that relief to make life a whole lot easier for Lamar Jackson and provide that spark for this offense. Thanks for joining us here on the channel. Hit the like button if you enjoyed today's show. Don't jinx it. Don't want to take any chances on losing against the Tennessee Titans. We've already took 2 losses this year. Can't afford another at this juncture. Like the video, and I'll see you Sunday here on Ravens Rundown.